Hi there. Welcome to your yoga class. Thank you for joining me. So, we will get on with it, okay? We are concentrating today on a little bit of spinal mobility. So, there'll be a little bit of twisting, and it's all to do with the health of your spine and flexing it as many ways safely as we can, because it does go in a few different directions. So, that's our theme for this week. So, I hope you enjoy. We're going to start today on our backs just for a little change. So come back onto your back. That's it. Put your feet on the floor and just let your knees flop open. Okay? Head on the floor as well. That's it. Soles of your feet together. Legs flopping open. Now, if you want to put a little support underneath your thighs here, can be a block, a book, a big book, or a cushion, something like that, you can do. Otherwise, you can enjoy the stretch. Put one hand on your tummy and one hand on your chest. And we're just going to centre ourselves from this position tonight. So, shut your eyes if you'd like to, and just allow yourself time to ease in to your practice. There's no need to be coming in hammer and tongs. Give yourself time to be used to on the mat and to slow your breathing down. We're not doing anything special with our breathing right now. We're just feeling how it pushes our tummy up a wee bit when we're inhaling and it pushes our tummy down when we exhale. That's it. And feel how nice it is to feel your spine on the floor and how comfy it is to sit in this position. And you might be getting that stretch on your inner thigh. You might have propped yourself up. If you just want to be completely comfortable, that is absolutely fine. So, we're going to start taking nice deep breaths. That's it. Through our nose. And we're going to try and breathe in and out for a count of 4. I'll count you for the first few, then leave you to do just a couple on your own. And please remember, when you are breathing in and breathing out, is to really use all of this abdominal area, not just the middle bit or the top bit. It's actually the top bit that we tend to use automatically if we're not thinking about it. So we're really breathing deep down in the pelvic area. So we inhale deep down from there right the way up to our collarbone. So we're going to settle in and exhale, and then inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 2, 3, and 4, and exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Couple more. 2, 3, and 4. And exhale, 2, 3, and 4. And just keep going, counting in your own head, feeling the rise and the fall of your stomach. Your deep breathing, and because you're breathing in this way, it's allowing you to relax further into this pose as well. So if you're not supporting those thighs, you will feel that it already feels maybe a bit easier, not quite as stretchy as it was, because remember, we've not warmed up yet, so it's okay to feel a little bit tight at first. A couple more inhales and exhales. That's it. And settling on your next exhale. That's it. And then gently open your eyes. I hope that felt as nice for you as it did for me. My eyes were shut the whole time and it definitely felt very nice. So, taking your knees up, you should have a nice stretch in the inside of your thighs there. We are just going to prepare our spine for all these spinal moves we're going to do. It sounds terrifying, doesn't it? But it's not, I promise. So our feet are together, and let's put our hands out to the side. And we sometimes do this at the end as well. So let your knees flop over to the right. Try and keep your knees together if you can. If they're not, it's fine. Knees don't have to be in the floor. And look, if you can, over to the left. If that's too much for you, just keep looking up to the ceiling. And this is preparing our spine, giving a nice gentle spinal twist. Ready for something a little bit deeper, not too much deeper, deeper. But it's a nice warm-up, nice gentle way to warm up your spine. Legs up to the middle again, and put them back over to the side and look to the right this time. So your legs are to the left, you're looking to the right, and your hands are out to the sides. That's it. Keeping your breathing going, inhaling and exhaling. Just feel yourself easing into it, because you can feel quite tight at the beginning of your practice. So come up again, knees are pointing up. So from here we're going to sit up, but do it gently. You can hold on to the back of your thighs and just give a couple of rocks and then come up ever so gently. We don't want anything too exciting at this stage. That's it. So we're going to come up to tabletop. So up onto tabletop, and the usual, shoulders over your wrists and hips over your knees, and you can tuck your feet in as well. Now from here we're keeping our spine nice and straight, but as if you're trying to draw your belly button in towards your spine, so that core is feeling tight. We're not just sort of relaxing here, you are pulling in your core the whole time. And we're going to do some cat-cows. That's a little bit different from usual. We are going to put the tops of the feet on the floor actually, and we're going to inhale, come back to child's pose. That's it, as far as you can. Heels don't need to be at your bottom. And then we're going to exhale, come up to tabletop and push back up into cat pose. And exhale. So inhale, come back to child's pose. That's it. Exhale, come up, push that back up, chin into your chest to cat pose. Then inhale, come back down again. And then exhale, coming up to tabletop, pushing your back up, chin into your chest. That's it. And then coming back down, inhaling, and exhaling, come up, tucking that chin into the chest. One more. Inhale, come back, down as far as you want. Exhaling and coming up, tucking that chin into your chest and back up towards the ceiling, and then coming back just to a neutral spine. And that's just a really nice way again to mobilise the spine. We do normal cat-cows normally, when you're on all fours and pushing up and pushing down, but that's just a nice way to invite some movement in as well. Just a variation, and it's something you can add in when you're doing your own home practice as well. So we are going to do a nice twist from here. I'll come round this way to show you. So we're still in tabletop, and what we're going to do is leave the right hand on the floor, and we're just going to simply twist up like this as far as you can. Okay, you might only get to here, but as long as you're feeling the twist, that's it. And look up at your hand if you can. Okay, and you'll feel that a different sort of twist, but it's nice for warming up. That's it. And coming back down, then lifting your right hand up and looking up at that if you can, just as far as you can. Even if it's here, that is okay, as long as you're feeling the twist. Few breaths, and then coming back down. So from here we're going to come into child's pose, and the one we're going to do is we're going to put our feet together this time, knees out to the side of the mat and hands in front of us. So we are looking like this, so coming straight down. Remember, your heels don't need to be at your bottom. If they are, great. If not, you can pop a wee block or something under there, or just come down as far as you can. It's really no problem at all. So let's come forward. That's it. And let's just do a couple of inhales and exhales here. So we're going to inhale, come up onto your fingertips, and exhale, stretch forward a bit more. And you'll feel underneath your shoulder blades opening up a wee bit when you do that. So you're getting more bang for your buck doing it this way. Let's lift up. I don't know where I get these sayings from. Inhale and crawl your hands forward. And if that's your limit, that's fine. Just keep inhaling, exhaling through your nose, stretching out, enjoying it, because child's pose is quite nice, but we're keeping our arms a wee bit active in this one. That's it. Don't want you falling asleep quite yet, do we? So gently just walk your hands coming up. That's it. Into tabletop. And let's go up to downward dog. So tucking our toes in, we're going to come straight up, first of all, onto tippy toes, then come back your feet are shoulder width apart. You're going to walk the dog out a wee bit because it's our first downward dog. Hands shoulder width apart. Hands are splayed as well, remember. Driving down into the mat. Head is down and long, neck is long, looking to the back of the mat. Okay, now from here, we're going to look up and we'll gently walk up to our feet. Okay, now from here, so we're kind of in this position here. So I want you to hold on to the inside of your elbows like this and separate your feet to about hip width apart and just dangle. Bend your knees a bit as well. So your chest is almost on your thighs here because your knees are bent. I really want you to, even if you can stand with straight legs, bend your knees. And then we're going to sway from side to side. Again, inviting different movement into the spine in a really gentle way. That's it. And warming it up as well. So we're going to do a couple of sun salutations next. Get our heart rates up a little bit. That's it. Then come back to the middle and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. That's it. So we're really concentrating in the spine today. I mean, a lot of yoga anyway obviously does involve the spine, but we're specifically doing some spinal. We're trying to bend it one way, bend it the other, bend it backwards and forwards. Just that is what we're concentrating on today. So it's just good to keep that in mind, I think, when you're doing it. Good to have a purpose, I think, sometimes. So, standing at the top of your mat, we're going to do some sun salutations to warm up, the traditional way in Ashtanga to warm up. But it's really just a set sequence of movements. So we're standing in mountain pose, Samasthiti He at the front of our mats, and we're going to raise our hands up, look at our thumbs, push up with those fingertips, palms together. Then we're going to fold forward from our hips. That's it, nice straight back, and come to forward fold on an exhale. Now keep your knees bent if you need to. If you can straighten your legs, that's fine. But even if you can, go easy. It's the first one. Then we're going to inhale and look up, straighten the spine, come up onto your fingertips, plant your hands, step back into plank pose. That's it. Now you can put your knees down here and lower down or lower straight down if you want. So we come down to about there. Hands should be nicely nestled into your ribs just about here. If they're not, just shift them. And then we're going to come up to half cobra. Just there, okay? Just a wee half one. And then we're going to come back down, tuck those toes in at the back, come up to tabletop, line yourself up and come up to downward dog. And we stay here for a few breaths, so it's a good time to sort of just readjust. Pushing that mat away with your hands, walking out your feet. Remember, you can bend your knees if you want to. Your heels do not need to come to the floor. If they do, wonderful, but it doesn't need to happen. Pushing up, your thighs are engaged, you're pushing back, you're pushing up, heads down and long. Shoulders are nice and relaxed as well. And staying here for a couple of wee breaths. Then we inhale and look up, and then we can step or jump to the top of the mat, stepping up. That's it. Spine long again, look ahead, weight is in your toes. Exhale, fold over your legs, chest to your thighs. And then inhale, hands up, look at your thumbs, and come down to Samasthiti He again. Well done. We'll do one more. Speed it up just a little bit. And remember your variations as well. And variations just aren't something that you can stick to. Very often the first sun salutation, you don't want to do a full cobra or jumping back and forward. That is fine. Okay, and very normal indeed. So, raise your hands up, look at your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, chest to thighs, hands on the mat or in your legs, so keep your legs bent. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine, plant the hands. Now bend your knees if you need to at this point and jump or step back. So step back into plank pose, and then you can either lower straight down or come to your knees. So we come down to here, come to cobra, so the tops of the feet are on the floor, your shoulders are nice and relaxed, and your shoulders are over the wrists as well. That's it. Then trace that line down the wall, tuck your toes in while you're doing that so that you can engage your core and come straight up to downward dog. Walk the dog if you need to at this point again. Other than that, just check your positioning, wrap those nice shoulders round to give you a nice firm foundation, fingertips driving into the mat. Feeling nice and warmed up by now a little bit. That's it. Keep breathing. Keep stretching. Hips up and back. And then we inhale and look up. And if you want to try jumping at this point, all you have to do is maybe bend your knees and only jump halfway. You don't need to get right up. So lift the hips up and jump halfway. No bother, okay? Don't feel that when you start jumping, you need to get right up there. You don't. That can come with time, and you even don't need to do that. So no hassles. Step if you want to. There are no rules. That's it. People might tell you there's rules, but there's not. So we're going, inhale and straighten your spine, and then exhale, chest to your thighs again. And you'll notice with every time you fold, you maybe get a wee bit further forward as well. Legs a wee bit straighter. Inhale, look at your thumbs. And then exhale, come down. So I hope you're a little bit warmer now. Now feel free at this point to press pause on me and go through another one on your own if you want, okay? And if you want me to write out the sequence for you, drop you a wee message and then you can have it out next to you if you want. So please feel free to do that. Otherwise, we'll go on and do some other things. Here we go, extra points there. So from here, I'll come to the middle of the mat. You're still at the top of your mat, and we're going to do a forward fold on its own. It's a move on its own, and it's part of the sun salutations that we've just done. So that was like a wee set sequence. This is a move on its own. So we put our feet hip width apart, okay? And we're going to do a forward fold. And if we can, we're going to take our peace fingers and hook them round our big toes, okay? Let's all try doing it, even if it means you need to bend your knees, okay? So we inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we fold from the hips, nice straight back. Bend your knees if you need to, remember, and come down. Hook those fingers around the big toe. So you're between the big toe and the first toe. That's it. Now we're going to look up, inhale, and then exhale and fold over, chest to those thighs. Now, your legs might be bent, your legs might be straight. It's absolutely fine. But I just feel like if you start binding on like that, and you'll find, see if you have got a bind, you can actually maybe pull yourself a little bit closer. Gives you a wee bit more of a purchase there to take it, but don't hurt yourself, obviously. Weight is in your toes, and we do stay here for a few breaths. So we don't just get into pose, stay for a sec, and then come out. We do stay here for a little bit of time. Not too much, don't panic. So then we inhale, look up, and let's stay down here. So your knees might be bent, and if they're not, you might need to bend them for this one because we're going to stand on our hands now. So you take your hands, I'll show you from here, okay, and you're going to put your foot right up to that wrist crease, okay, so it's probably easier to see from the side. So you're putting your feet onto your hands, standing on your hands like that, and this, you can keep your knees bent for, okay, and you can straighten them if you want and if you can. And we stay here. Now, you'll feel the difference here is that you're getting a super duper shoulder stretch between your scapula, there, your shoulder blades. You're also getting an awesome counter stretch on your wrists because we've been doing some down dogs, haven't we? So by pushing down here, we are pushing our wrists in the opposite direction. So it's a great counter stretch and very good for the spine because we are folding forward, aren't we? And we're bringing it forward. We'll be bringing it in other directions as well. That's it. So inhale, put your hands on your waist, and exhale, we're still down here. And then inhale, come right the way up. Okay, well done. So remember, every one of these moves is directed in some way at the spine and not necessarily anything other than flexing it in different directions in order to keep it healthy, really. You know, the more flexion, the more safe flexion that goes on, the better. So we're going to do a nice side bend now. We don't do this very often standing up, but if we stand in mountain pose, you can be at the top of your mat in the middle, it doesn't matter. And we're going to put one hand up. We sometimes do this at the beginning, and we're going to bend over. So see when I bend over, you can see that I'm in a straight line. So none of this leaning over. Bend in a nice straight line, and you're reaching up and over. That hand is sliding down your thigh, and you'll feel the nice side stretch. That's quite evident when you do it. But remember that spine. You'll You'll be sick of hearing the word spine after this, but remember, so your spine is curving in this direction, and that's partially why we're doing this. So come back down again, other hand up, really drive it up there, and then we bend over, nice straight line, flat as a board, remember, nice alignment. That's it, you're pushing that hand up and over, and we're pushing our spine the other way this time. That's it. And then coming back up, we'll do one more either side, because it's actually so simple, but such a lovely stretch, that one. So push, really push and lengthen. Inhale and then exhale and come over. Stay here for a couple of breaths, not staying here forever. That's it. And then come back down. Last time, drive that hand up and then come over. That's it. Well done. Nice, safe and secure foundation with your feet. We're not toppling in like that, and we're not doing this. We're not ballerinas. I know we're as graceful as ballerinas, but we're not doing ballet just now. Graceful's not a word that comes to mind when I think of myself. So we come back up. Well done. So now we're going to do a triangle pose. Have a wee drink of water if you need to. Come to the front of your mat like you normally do. I'm going to go to this side because so I've not got my back to you, okay? Because we always turn to the right. Trikonasana, the one that I teach, is an Ashtanga move, and we always turn to the right. Quite traditional. I do like doing it the traditional way. It's just in case you're wondering why I'm facing a different way. So we stand in mountain pose, Samastitihi. We look over our right shoulder because it's a good reminder of which way to turn actually. Sometimes you're a bit knackered. So turn and look over your right shoulder, and we're going to step out about a leg length apart. Okay, so for this one there's lots of different variations of this pose, but just stick with me and I'll show you different variations for this particular one. So you're going to point your foot parallel out that way, keeping your leg straight. You can have a slight bend in it if you want. Try and keep it straight as possible. And this back foot is turning about 45 degrees, but turn it enough so that your hips can then square off to the back of the room, okay? You might need to just inch it a little bit more so that you're not compromising your hips. Okay, so we're here, okay? And this is our leg position. Now you can put a slight bend in that front knee if you want, because we're going to take our hands like this, okay? So your right hand is forward over your right leg. Now, rather than just coming down like this, we're going to actively come forward like this. So we're moving forward over the hips and then coming down. Now, the variations are, you can be like this, the back of your hand's on your knee, sorry, and you're looking up like that. The rotation in this is really, really important. This chest should be rotated around as much as you possibly can. Or if you can, find that big toe, just like we were binding onto it before, find that big toe, ground down, get your base and look up. That's it. And remember, you can have a slight bend in that knee if it means you can get to the toe. Have a wee bend in it, that's fine. It doesn't need to be locked out. Shouldn't be locked out. You should always have a little bit of softness. That's it. Then from here, don't just collapse, look down, hand up and come up strong through the middle. So we're back in this position. Turn your feet parallel, keep your hands out. Okay, turn that foot, other foot, turn that foot. The other foot goes out the other way, and you're basically just swapping leg position. So your heels should be lined up here as well. So your front foot is facing forward and your back foot is at about 45 degrees and your heels are lined up together, okay? And you're turning your hips actively and mindfully towards the other side. So we put these hands out now. The hand that's in the front is the same hand as the leg that's there. So left hand and left leg. And then remember, we move forward very deliberately rather than just sort of collapsing into. Move forward and come over. And remember, you can do this. Or if you've got a block, you can put it here. Or you can bind onto your toe, no problem at all. And you can put a little bend in that front knee. That's fine. And stay here and look up if you can to the top, to the ceiling. That's it. Feels a lovely, lovely stretch. And that spine's getting some work. That's it. That's why the rotation is really important. So inhale, look down. Up strong through the middle, okay? No collapsing or coming round the front. and then come to the side again. And then we're just going to step to the front of the mat, okay? Back to the front of the mat, back to mountain pose. So we're going to do another side on one while we're here. We will look over the right shoulder again, and you're going to step your foot out about a leg and a half length this time, a bit wider, okay? And we're going to do what we did before, turn that foot out parallel, shift this foot round as well, about 45 degrees, and the difference is this time we're going to bend that front knee, okay? Don't have your knee coming further than your toes, okay? So we've got a nice angle there. Couple of options here. You can either lightly put your elbow down there and put that hand round the back and look up. Now see if your hand round the back, see if you can grab your thigh. You never know until you try. See if you can grab, because that's really nice for getting the rotation in. Or you can put your hand straight up and get a lovely line from your hand right down to your foot that's at the back. Or you can take this hand, the elbow, and put it on the floor and go into full position. Choose your position, but keep that rotation going. Obviously it's a lot harder when your hand's on the floor, but hey ho, keep strong. And then remember, look down, inhale, and then exhale, come all the way up and straighten the legs. Come parallel with your feet like this. And let's do the other side. So turn that foot out. This back foot now goes to 45 degrees-ish. That's it. And you're going to bend into that front knee and be mindful of, we're not bending too far. Adjust yourself if you need to, okay? So grinding down on your foundation, and you can put your elbow there, remember. And don't just sort of shove your arm around the back. Very deliberately stretch up and round and see if you can maybe get your thigh. You never know. And look up, or your hands here, or your other hands down, and you're in full pose. That's it. But what I would say is feel that you've really cracked the pose before, if you like, before you move on. You're best doing, this properly rather than trying to get your hand to the floor. But you can have a block here. That's okay to have a block. You can be in fingertips, or your hat is fine. It's fine, as long as you're safe and you're not hurting yourself. So look down again, inhale, then exhale, come up, strong, remember, feet parallel again, okay, and then come to the front of your mat, samastitihi, back to the beginning again. That's it. So I'm just going to swap sides so I'm on the same side as you now. So we're going to take a vinyasa now, which basically means it's like something to try and get your heart rate up. It gets you into a different position as well. And we are going to try a dolphin pose now, okay? So stay with me. Hands up, look at those thumbs. And then before we come to the forward fold, we're going to push up very slightly with our hands and fold forward from the hips. And you might find you'll be able to forward fold a little more. Chest to your thighs. Look up, lengthen, plant those hands, jump or step back to the plank pose. That's it. And then lower yourself down. Now, if you want to do an up dog here, you can. You need to have the tops of your feet on the floor, hands in by your ribs, push up, and your thighs come off the floor as well. That's it. And then come back to downward dog. That's it. So, come down on your knees for a wee minute, so as I can actually explain what on earth a dolphin pose is. So what we're going to do, it does look very downward dog-like, okay, but we're on our forearms. So I'll show you and then we can do it. So come down on our forearms like this and clasp your hands, okay? So we're like this at the front, okay, and you're on your elbows. Your elbows are about, a good measurement is to hold on to the inside of your, that's it, hold on to the inside of your arms, put that down. Now we're going to come up into a sort of downward dog position with our legs down here. So we're going to be like that, okay? Now your heels probably won't come as far as they can, but what to do is get into the position just now, and then we can try it and I can talk you through it. That's it, let me just fix this, there we go. So our elbows are on the floor, and we come up. That's it. And if that's, remember, bend your knees if you need to, but you're pushing your heels towards the floor. That's it. And you'll find that it's a bit of an inversion as well. Keep that head nice and loose. Head shouldn't be on the floor. And just hold there for a wee second. Now, if this is too easy for you, then you can, if you want, move forward in front of your hands and back. Okay? Move forward in front of your hands and back. Okay, and you can try it if you want. Now, even if that's too difficult for you, you can come down on your knees and come forward and back. In fact, just try that anyway. Down on your knees and come forward back, because you still get the motion of doing it. That's it. Although you might not have much weight on it. That's it. Forward and back. That's it. And then come down to a child's pose. Okay, put your feet together, knees together, tops of your hands on the floor, forehead on the floor. So you're much more tucked up than you've been before. That's it. Take a nice few deep breaths. That's it. Just take time to catch your breath. Have a well-earned little break. So, we have come and we've done dolphin pose. That's dolphin pose, very much like downward dog. And if you have got very, very sore wrists and you can't manage a downward dog, that is a good alternative as well. It still gives you the same sort of position, but obviously you're down on your elbows, but it's a bit harder to get your heels down because there's not as much space. So it's a good one to practice that as well. So we're going to do a couple of normal cat-cows now before we come back up to standing. So we have to come down on our hands and knees. That's it. And tuck your toes in. And then we're going to inhale and look up. That's it. Be mindful of your spine and what it's doing. Exhale, tuck that chin in and push your back up to the ceiling. That's it. Inhale, let's look up again. And exhale, tuck that chin in, back up to the ceiling. Inhale, that's it. Look up and do a couple on your own. That's it. And just be aware of how your spine is feeling. And you'll probably feel, we do these at the beginning quite a lot. In my classes anyway. So you'll find it's maybe feeling a bit easier because we have done a bit of work so far. That's it, and feel that spine bend in one way and bend in the other in a really, really nice, gentle, healthy way. That's it. And then come back to neutral spine. Well done. So it's good to sometimes put those moves in at the middle, because then you suddenly think, oh, actually, it does feel a lot easier than when I do it at the beginning. That's how much your body's warmed up now. So we are going to come up to standing. I'm going to do Utkatasana, which is our chair pose, and brilliant pose for so many reasons. So we're going to concentrate on the pelvis in this one because it has an effect on your spine, obviously. So remember, your feet can be hip width apart, or they can be together. If they're together, there obviously is the centre of gravity is less, so it will challenge you more. So what we're going to do is just come down into normal chair pose first of all. So remember, hips and knees go back, weight is in your heels. So come down, that's it, like that. Now we don't want bendy backs like this, so tilt that pelvis, that's it. And that will have a big effect on your spine. You're not putting that pressure on your spine anymore. And put your hands in prayer position. And then put them right up. And look up at them if you want. Weight is in your heels. Be aware of that pelvis. It's very easy to bend your back in this one. That's it. And then come back up. Now we're going to do a revolved chair now. So it's the same thing with the legs. We're doing the same thing. Again, they can be together or they can be apart. So legs are together or apart. And remember, shift your knees and your hips back. So let's put our hands here. Now we're going to do a revolved chair, which basically means we're going to take that right arm and come to the side. So we're moving to the side. We're not moving back. We're just moving to the side. And then find that knee with the elbow. Keep your hands together. And so we're like this. That's it. So you're in chair pose. You've got the same motion as we did before, but you've also got, you guessed it, the spinal twist. That's it. Lots of twisties and turns tonight. That's it. Keep breathing through your nose. That's it. And then come back to the middle. Let's stay down here. Let's give these thighs a bit of a workout tonight. So do the same on the other side. Take that left arm, come to the side, just come round to the side, then find the knee and press those hands together. Press that top hand down into the bottom hand. That's it. Staying here. I know it's burning. That's it. And then come back to the beginning, no falling out of pose, and then come up. Doesn't that feel lovely? Give your legs a wee shake. So while we're standing up, we'll do a little tree pose now. So remember, variations for absolutely everything. This is why I love yoga, because it doesn't matter what position you're doing, there's generally a variation for everybody. And we even do things like chair yoga, so there's variations for sitting down as well. I mean, really. So anyway, I digress again. Let's do a tree pose. So 3 choices for your leg. You ground down through your right leg first of all, okay? So ground, get a good base with that. And you can either put your heel across. Remember that knee's going straight out to the side. So we're not doing this. It's right out to the side. Now, if that's okay, put your knee, your foot onto your calf, okay? We don't put anything on the knee, although it's tempting because there's a wee notch there that we just hold in place, but it's on your calf. Or if you want to bring it right up, and remember, if you're bringing it right up, the knee is straight out to the side, and your foot against your thigh, and your thigh against your foot, pushing together. That's it. And we put our hands together at our heart, like that. And you need that pushing together, especially if your foot's up here, to give you the foundation, okay? Now if you want, you can take your hands out to the side, put your thumb and your forefinger together if you want, and balance. Just fix your gaze on something. That's it. And just stay here for a wee few breaths. That's it. Try and do something different from what you normally do. If you usually get your hands in the middle, just put them out and see what happens. And then bring your hands back in and bring your leg down. Well done. I'm going to assume there was no wobbling there at all. So other side, of course. So remember, foot can be like this. And remember, your hip is actually rotating out here. So just be, let's not just shove it out. So you can bring it forward and then out, okay? Up to your calf as well. And remember, knees straight out. It's not coming in at all, or right up. But if you are right up, push that foot against your thigh, thigh against your foot. You need that force to keep it there. That's it. And to keep you strong and steady. And remember, you can put your forefinger and your thumb together and put it out if you want. Keep that standing leg strong. That's it. And then bring your hands back in and gently lay your foot down. Well done. Well done. So we're going to go to the floor now. But we're not just going to sit down. No. We never just sit down, do we? So we're going to raise our hands up, look at our thumbs, fold forward from your hips, hands to the floor, bend your knees if you need to. Look up onto your fingertips, hands to the floor, jump or step back to plank. That's it, come straight down to the floor, push up to cobra or up dog, whatever you want. Tuck your toes in and come straight up to downward dog. And from here we're going to come to the floor. So take that lift up your left foot and bring it towards the front, just like that. And lift up the other one and bring it forward. Like that, so you're in a cross leg position, and you can practice that on your own as well. I think it's a lot easier than it looks, definitely. So we're going to do Dandasana, which is mountain pose to the floor, really. It's a really important pose. We sit up nice and straight. Don't need to tell you that. No slump backs. Feet are together, and your feet are pointing up the way. Calves are on the floor. You can feel the back of your calves on the floor. Thighs are rolling in towards each other. Nice straight back. Nice relaxed shoulders. You're looking ahead just beyond your toes, and pop your hands on the floor. Now we're not bracing, remember? They're just resting there. And the arm position will be different for everyone because we've all got different lengths of arms, haven't we, and torsos. So sit up like this. And it shouldn't be too easy, if that makes any sense. You are making an effort here. So much so that after about 30 seconds you'd be a wee bit puffed. That's how much effort's going, because your core's tight, your thighs are doing some work, your feet are flexed as well. That's it. Now from here we're going to come to a forward bend. Remember we did it on when we were standing up? We're going to do it when we're sitting down. So remember those peace fingers again. Remember we hooked them round our toes right at the beginning. So we're going to do that again. Now bend your knees a little if you need to. Hook it in between. Hook your big toe like that. And then you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, and then fold forward. Now, straighten your legs as much as you can. That doesn't mean to say they have to be straight, but your feet are together, and then when you bend forward, your elbows bend like that. If you've got straight legs. And you're looking forward beyond your toes. The tendency is to sort of drop your head in this one. Keep your head up, but your shoulders relaxed. And you can really use that bind on your toes to bring you that wee bit forward. And remember, it's chest to thighs. Okay, not head to knees. Okay, so we're staying here just for a wee second. That's it. Keep your breathing going. That's it. And then slowly come back up. Let's not do anything with too much of a rush. So from here, I'll show you from this position, because we're going to be sitting here with our feet flexed towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to take the left leg and cross it over like this. Okay, so the foot is pointing forward and that one is flexed. Okay, so we are here. And then we're going to, the foot that's crossed over, you're going to take the opposite hand and then do this. And twist round to the back. Okay, so that knee's providing a wee bit of force, if you like. So your left leg is bent, and it's your right hand that's over it, and you've got sort of a stop sign here, and you're twisting round. So inhale and lengthen the spine and twist round. That's it. Keeping that foot on the floor that's flexed, and the other foot nice and strong. That's it. Staying here for a few breaths. Twisting that spine again. That's it. And then we're going to, from here, just keep your foot where it is and put your hands on the mat like that. It's just a nice counter twist. Release some of that pressure on the spine. So we're here, just staying here. You're not putting too much effort into this one. You're just simply counter twisting. So then come back and put your leg back down. So we'll take our right leg across. So you're crossing it over, but your foot is flat on the floor. Okay, like that. Okay, and it should be round about your knee-ish, wherever it goes. And the foot on the floor is flexed. So remember, take your left hand and your elbow is kind of hooking over your knee into a stop sign and twist round behind you. Inhale and lengthen, exhale and twist round a wee bit further. That's it. And you might feel a bit constricted to your breath, which is fair enough because we are doing quite a big twist here. Just try and breathe as deeply as you can. Keeping those legs active. And then, before bringing your foot back, just coming over and counter twisting there. Relieve any sort of pressure on your back. That's it. Excellent. So now we are going to do a locust pose. We need to go on to our tummy for that one. So let's go on to our bellies. That's it. Gently, gently. Right. So we're doing our locust pose because again, very good for the flexion of the spine in a different direction. So you've got a couple of options open to you here. You can actually rest your head on your hands, okay, and you're going to lift one leg up like that and point the toe, okay. Let's lift it up, point, point, point. Try and keep your hips square and bring it back down. Other foot, point the toe and bring it up. That's it. And then bring it back down. Okay, and we're going to try and incorporate the arms into that as well. So put them forward. That's it, and you can kind of point them together at the top if you want. And we're going to lift your arms and your legs at the same time, and don't bend your knees. Okay, keep them nice and straight. Point your toes, point your fingers, and come up into locust pose. Okay, and come back down. If that's too much, just continue with your one foot at the time. Okay, because you shouldn't feel any pinching in your lower. Well, I don't need to say this now, but you shouldn't be feeling any pain whatsoever. Discomfort's fine, but pain is not. So again, let's go. Hands and feet lift up. That's it. Great for strengthening your back, this one. And coming back down. Let's do one more, shall we? That's it. So hands together. Lifting up. That's it. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to do a pose called Sphinx pose. And what we're going to do is bring our hands in. We're still in our belly. And we're going to bring our hands in like this. So our arms are at a 90-degree angle, really. Okay, tops of your feet are on the floor. If you've got a block, you can put it in front of your head and actually rest your head on it. Because what we're going to do is just keep this for a wee bit longer than we would normally. Okay, so you're looking straight ahead. Okay. If you feel that's not hard enough, maybe bear in mind we are going to keep it for longer, you can straighten those arms and come up into seal pose if you want. But obviously that asks a little bit more of your back. So it's maybe an idea to stay here just till we're used to it. So let's breathe in and out. Just bring your attention back to your breathing. That's it. And again, you can feel we're still working the spine towards the lower back. And we're asking it to bend back. It's not a back bend, but, you know, it's just about a back bend. But we're doing it in a really gentle way. And just take a few nice deep breaths here. That's it. Through your nose. And you shouldn't be getting any pain whatsoever. That's it. And your hands are still splayed out the front. You shouldn't be having too much weight. You should be trying to hold yourself up, but it shouldn't be. You should be able to hold this for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. That's how it should feel. So a tiny bit of an effort, but not. Oh my goodness! That's it. I need to collapse immediately. Sort of effort. That's it. So staying here. I've already been here for quite a good amount of time, longer than we normally do. That's it. And then come down and put your head on your hands. Okay, so let's go onto our backs now. That's it. And we're going to do a pose called Bananasana. Believe it or not, there is one called Bananasana. So let's lie down right on our backs. Okay, I'll come forward a wee bit. And basically, if you picture yourself from above, we're going to come into the shape of a banana. So we're curving the body. We're curving it sideways. So lie nice and relaxed, and we put our hands up above us, okay, just like we do when we're doing like a morning stretch, and we're going to bring our hands over to the right hand side. So bring the upper half of your body over, okay, so your legs are still straight, upper half of your body is over in a curve, and then bring your legs over, okay, slightly, and then you're going to cross your left leg over your right. So you're curving completely, pointing sort of towards the right. If you were to look at yourself from above, you'd be in a banana shape. And you can feel you're getting a stretch really from your ankles right up to your wrists. It's a superb sideways stretch, this one. And a lovely way to stretch the spine. And remember we did this standing up. We did sidewards bend, remember? So prepared us for this. And by crossing that leg over the top, it helps you stay there actually, but it just helps keep you there. So take a nice few deep breaths here in your banana shape. That's it. And then coming back to the middle. You should be able to feel that you could stay there again for a few minutes. Okay. So walk your legs over to the left this time. Banana shape. Walk your upper body over. That's it. A nice banana shape. So try and keep your hips where they are and just move your legs and your arms. That's it. And remember, cross that right leg over your left. That's it. And stay in your banana sana for a while. That's it. And again, shuffle about. If you need to come more into that position, that's fine. Everybody is different. It's such a nice full body stretch, this one. Really nice to end your practice with. And this is a yin yoga move. It's just so good for it. The longer you stay in these poses, the more you can relax into them. Because very often we stay in poses for a few breaths, thereabouts. But if we're staying in a pose for 3 minutes, it's quite challenging staying in a pose for that amount of time. Not because you've got to use massive physical effort, but because you've got to settle your mind a fair bit as well. So it's challenging in a different way, I would say. So still breathing nice and deeply. Come back to the centre. That's it. And we're going to do that nice spinal twist that we did again at the beginning. So bend your knees up, okay? Hands out to the sides. And we're going to drop the knees over to the left and look towards the right. And this should feel a little bit easier than it did at the beginning. Again, knees don't need to come to the floor. Need to come to the floor as long as you're getting that spinal twist. Nice deep breaths here. That's it. Bring your knees up to the middle, drop them to the other side, move your head to the other side, and you'll always find that one side is different from the other. So you might find in this side, oh, there's a wee bit of niggles there, whatever. So just notice it, as long as it's not painful. This will help it by, doing all these different movements, breathing into your stretches, deepening your stretches. You're helping any sort of tightness in your back. That's it. And then bringing your knees back up. And then curl your knees into your chest. Curl your head up as well. Get the full spinal stretch. That's it. And then we'll have a lovely Shavasana. So get comfy. So get your jumpers or your socks or your blankets. That's it. And get nice and comfy. And as usual, I will guide you into the relaxation. Leave you for a few minutes to fully, deeply relax. And then bring you back out of it again. So, by the time I've chatted here, but of course you can pause if you need to run away and get a blanket and a pillow. Do whatever you can. Remember, you can roll up a towel and put that over your eyes as an iPad. Not an iPad, an eye mask. So I don't want putting an iPad in your face. So lying back, remember your positioning, because it's a position like all the others. So it's not just kind of slide down. The position that you normally take is your feet at the side of the mat, tops of the hands on the floor, arms about 45 degrees away from your body, and just nice and relaxed. There are alternatives that you can do as well. If you can't lie on your back, you can go on your side. If you've got any questions about that, please message me and I can specifically guide you into that. Because just like any other pose, it's quite important that you do it properly. But the traditional way that we do it, Shavasana, if you can, is lie on your back. So just get comfy. Okay. And we are just going to feel the contact points on the mat. You're going to feel your heels where they're resting on the mat. Feel how nice and grounded they feel. You're on a mat. You're totally safe. You're not going to be rolling off or anything like that. You're on the floor, so you're feeling nice and safe. Feel the back of your calves on the mat as well. Feel them just melting down into the mat. You've not got to do anything for the next few minutes. Feel your bottom, backs of your thighs as well, where they meet the mat. And with every breath you take in and every breath, especially on the way out, you're just going a wee bit deeper into that nice relaxation position. The back, your bottom of your back may be on the mat, but definitely in the middle and the top of your back will be. Feel how secure you feel just lying here. Give it a wee wriggle if it makes you feel a wee bit more comfortable. and the backs of your arms, backs of your hands on the floor. That's why your hands face up. It's so that there's nothing for you to feel with those fingers. They're just up. They've got nothing to do. And the back of your head as well. You'll feel that on the mat. So we're just starting to now, even now, our breath isn't doing anything special. You're just wanting to relax. Just taking your time, concentrating on your breath, feeling it coming in your body and coming out your body. And congratulate yourself for having a great practice. You have shown up, you have done the postures, and now you're getting the benefit of it. So it's a win-win situation. So don't be tempted to skip this bit, however tempting it may be. Your timetable may be stacked at the moment, but it's really important. This is a restorative phase of your practice. This is the bit where your body repairs itself because you're not quite sleeping, you're not quite awake. So it's a really, really good part of your practice to keep. Very important. So I just want you to sit there, lie there nice and comfortably, and just concentrate on your breathing and just relax. So gently, gently, just coming back into the room again, and just taking a wee minute to come to, get your bearings again. Give your fingers a little wiggle, maybe your toes a wee bit of a wiggle. Just invite some movement back into your body. That's it. And you can bend your knees and put your feet flat on the floor. And turn your head to the right as well. And roll onto your right side in your own time. There is no rush. Very gently. And stay there in that sort of fetal position for just as long as you need to. And then slowly, in your own time with no rush, gently starting to sit up into a cross-leg position. I'll give you a little minute to do that. Of course, you can press pause and take forever to do it if you want. It's no problem at all. It's a good thing about being on playback. So once we're back up, we take our hands to our chest in prayer position. I really hope this practice heals and strengthens your body and your mind. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. I really appreciate it. I hope your backs and your spines feel a little bit looser tomorrow. We've done quite a lot of work, a lot of gentle work on our spine tonight, and it will serve its purpose. You should be feeling a little bit looser tomorrow, and I hope you sleep well, or this might be first thing in the morning, in which case I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you back on the mat the next time. Have a lovely day. See you later.